Hey everybody, I'm back. I wanted to get a video in because I think the last one may have been at least more than a week ago. So I'm here now with your reading. Before we get into it though, just a few general updates about stuff, happenings. So, one, today, Mercury retrograde in Pisces has gone direct. This means that it's no longer appearing to be moving in a backward motion. So that's pretty good, but we're not completely out of the weeds. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Mercury retrograde, Mercury governs things like our communication and technology, things related to contracts. So you might have had some issues about that, but with a hypersensitive element surrounding that, since it is retrograde in Pisces, and Pisces is a watery sign, and there's a lot of emotion around that water, and Mercury is in detriment when it's in Pisces. They're basically opposing. So this may have been particularly challenging for you if you were sensitive to this sort of thing. Now, if you were used to it, you probably were able to navigate a little bit better. If you weren't, you may have had a bit of trouble. And the reason why I say that we're not fully out of the weeds is that stationing direct means that it is no longer moving back, looking like it's moving in backward motion. But there is a post-shadow period where the effects can still linger for a certain amount of time. So we are not out of this shadow period until April 16th. And I feel like the reading that I have in play today kind of speaks to that. Additionally, I have been having some general difficulties when the seasons change, especially, I want to say, fall season, and then also this winter to spring transition proved pretty difficult for me for a couple reasons, and it relates to Ayurveda. If you follow Ayurveda and have familiarity with their doshas, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you do not follow Ayurveda, you might be interested in learning a little bit about it, because it can tell you a little bit more about what aggravates and what supports your whole self. So in Ayurveda, there are these constitutions that we're all made up of. There are 3 of them. They're called doshas, and there's Pitta dosha, Kapha dosha, Vata dosha. Pitta is fire element. It's actually, yes, it's fire. Kapha is earth element, and Vata is actually air and like space, in a sense. So you can go online and take a quiz to find out your compositions based on those 3 doshas. And you can also get an update on how you're doing today, presently, to find out if any of those areas you're truly being affected. And I knew I was being affected in some sort of way, totally. So I redid the quiz and got the update, and I am effectively having issues in all 3 of my doshas. So I'm primarily Pitta Vata, so I have a lot of trouble as it pertains to fire and air. And it's so interesting because my sun sign is an air sign and my moon sign is a fire sign. So I need to do some things to kind of keep me on track. So around this time, I've been feeling pretty sluggish, and people around me have been feeling pretty sluggish too. And some people are even likening it to their diets, what they've been eating. For me, I know that some of the things that I've been eating lately that have made me feel a little comforted getting out of control, it affects my Kapha dosha. Someone told me they ate a lot of sugar lately. It makes them feel tired. So if you're feeling a little bit down, sluggish, just take another look at, your diet. What are you eating? Your sleep. And not even just the amount of sleep, when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up. Because if you're going to bed at midnight or past midnight, chances are you're going to need a bit more sleep. Every hour of sleep we get before midnight is worth 2 hours of after midnight sleep. And also your level of activity, your exercise, just getting up and going out and getting your heart rate up can do wonders. So if anyone has any questions about some of these things that I just mentioned, you can certainly let me know. I will leave the name of the site, the company that I go to take the quiz about Ayurvedic doshas inside of the summary of this video. All right. Oh, and also, gotta love those seasonal allergies. I'm having a lot of trouble with that area too, but it's all good. So, onto the reading. Usual suspects with these card decks. Enchanted Map is up first, then Energy, Love deck, and Healing deck. So, first card we got is Come to Life in reverse. Here's what it looks like upright. This is reverse. So, this card in reverse, what this means is get out of your own way. Let the universe lead. Let spirit lead. Let things take their natural flow and course. Get within the flow. Trust that things are going to work out just the way that they should, and stop trying to control everything. That's what that's about. And that may have been something you've been struggling with over the past couple weeks or so, because that is our prior state. Now, we got the Flying card, also in reverse. This is what it looks like upright, flying. So Flying card in reverse, that means you might want to hold off on some things you're trying to push forward. There's a time to take action, and there's a time to not take action. And right now could be an opportune time to not take action, especially since we're not even fully out of the Mercury retrograde. So it's like more of a chill out. And you'll know the right time for you to take action on anything that it is that you've been knowing you need to do something about or in regard to. Okay? And our card is Unexpected Visitors. This means that anything you were hoping or expecting in life, how your life should be lived, how you should be, a job or a relationship, an opportunity, something you really want. Be open to the fact that what you're looking for might come in a package that you were not expecting. It might manifest into your life in a way that you weren't expecting. You know, oftentimes we'll plan something and we'll say, okay, I'm going to do these 3 actions and then it's going to come to that result. Maybe that's not the path. Maybe that path is in reverse. Maybe you get to bypass steps. Maybe a few extra steps have to be added into the mix. The key is to be open to the fact that the thing that your heart really desires may not look the way you expect it to, may not come around the way you expect it to, but be open-minded toward anything that's coming your way. And when you are connected and focused with yourself, things will not really shock you that much. It'll be minimal surprise. If you stay open to the fact that things are continuously changing, ebbing and flowing, things will stop surprising you. All right? And this card might be a pretty good card for a lot of us. Financial constraints in reverse. So financial constraints in reverse means that you might see some relief in your finances. Maybe you're going to get some money coming through. Maybe you're going to get paid back from someone. Your financial situation might be improving right now. I like it. I know, like, at least here in the United States, it's about tax season, and some of us might be getting a refund, a return, you know, so you might not feel as much pressure, financially speaking, as you've had maybe in the last few weeks or so. Okay? And now from the love deck, where our love are, the Pearl Threaded 38. Basically what this says that, you know, we are individuals, but in the grand scheme of the universe, we're kind of pretty much all interconnected. And sometimes our personal transformation typically always includes others, whether we perceive their inclusion as positive or negative. it's all inconsequential as it pertains to our personal transformation. So what this card is asking for is for you to, if you are feeling that situations and circumstances in your life, you know, your job, your social circle, your relationship, your geographical location, if there's anything that is coming or in or about your life that is making your vibration feel low, or you feel drained, or if it's something that fundamentally does not feel right, it's okay to let it go. And then find your tribe. Go where you feel boosted, elevated, fed. I was having a conversation with someone very close to me just a couple days ago. And, you know, they're feeling really tired and not really doing some of the things that they feel that they want to do in life, you know, really busy at work. And I said, you know, work, we have to, you know, majority of us have to work. And it can make you tired. However, what you do outside of work, like if you don't love your work, what you do outside of your work can feed you. It can give you that energetic boost to get through work. It can enrich your outside life so that you can just feel better overall and be ready to tackle whatever you might have to tackle in your workplace or in other areas of your life that you feel are not ideal. So even though you might feel like, oh, the workday is ended, I can't go to this place, I'm too tired, you might go to that place and feel amazing, energetic, like you have more hours in the day. That, if you was watching my videos for a while, I totally went through that. Going out and doing things gave me that boost I needed to work through some really rough times. So consider it. Consider looking for places and spaces where you belong, where you feel like you can be you, where you feel lifted, when there's light and you feel enlightened, right? And then, last card here, unconditional love. That's where we are in a healing space. We need to heal from a perspective of unconditional love and how we continue to bring and manifest that into our lives, because the love basically starts with us. And although it might be difficult to love unconditionally, which is love without expectation, it is something that we should aspire to do. And part of love is forgiveness. And I read the definition of forgiveness that I love the most is forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. So you can hold on to things that have happened to you. You can continuously rehash them on a daily basis, but that is low vibration and it can bring you down, and worse, it can manifest more of that into your life. So you have a choice to clean the slate and avoid holding things against someone. That does not mean someone who has done you and, you know, wrong in a sense, or you felt wronged. It does not mean they just get a pass, or people don't have to atone or be apologetic for the things that they've done. It's just that, you know what? You can just choose to let it go and continue on living your life and go on and have experiences that are going to really support you. If you keep, one of the things I like to say is don't drag your past into your present. So if things have happened to your past and they keep coming up in your mind, in your conversations, in your circles, and it just keeps presenting itself, that's just a sign that there's some healing you've got to do, some things you have to work forward, you have to work toward, and some cords that you've got to cut if you can't let it go, if you're still holding on to it. Of course, you can express your feelings, but at some point, you do have to take ownership for the things in your past that you were holding into and projecting into your future just by virtue of constantly discussing it in your present, right? That's part of unconditional love for yourself, too, because anger, even righteous anger, is still harmful. Anger is anger, and anger can hurt you, even if you're in the right. So that's that. And so we're going to do the universe has got your back deck. Let's see what we're going to pull today. All right. Yeah, like I was mentioning, you know, if you have any questions, you can certainly let me know. I mean, if you know me in real life, you know how to reach me for real. If you don't know me in real life, you can certainly email me. I don't spend as much time on Facebook right now, and I talked about that a few weeks ago because I'm really trying to be in a place where I'm really neutral to a lot what's going on, but some things that I consume on social media, it's just a bit much. So, all right. Let's see what we got. I am going to pick one. Let's go with this one. What do we got? Hope is a conduit for miracles. Hope is a conduit for miracles. All right. So the way I feel about that is, to me, hope is like not giving up. Hope is to keep going. Because one of the things that I always do say about hope too is hope is not a strategy, but hope can give you the batteries so that you can have the strategy and so that a miracle can happen. And a miracle doesn't have to be magic. It can just be you feeling a way that you've never felt before, overcoming something you never thought you could overcome. Doesn't that feel miraculous? Namaste.